Hey folks, this episode is sponsored by City Traders Imperium. Now, what you might not know is CTI has the best funded account conditions up to $2 million, which is the most in the industry. Now, go check out the video I recorded with them to learn more about their incredible package where Trading Nut listeners get an exclusive deal. It includes access to their high-performance trader mastermind and funding program. What are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below or above and go check out that video. All right, folks, here we are on Trading Nut. We've got Sam Kavanagh with us here today. We've just done a fantastic podcast. You've got to go and check it out, learn all about how he set up a prop trading firm and developed his traders over there on Trading Nut. There's a link below the video. Now, today we're going to get into one of his recent oil trades and using market profile as well. So, Sam, welcome to the show.
Yeah, fantastic. So this is actually a trade that I'm looking at into the week ahead. So I'm sure, by the time this comes out, this will have either went great or maybe not even set up. So you can all, hit me up on Instagram and slag me if it went poorly. But so this is a trade on West Texas oil. Now, there's a couple of things I'm looking at here. Now, specifically, if we just open up the daily chart here, you can see Friday printed an inside day. Now, inside day candlestick pattern can often be seen as a bit of a reversal. We've seen a down move. This is potentially signaling a reversal to the upside. So something that I tend to look for on a 60-minute would be a break and retest of some structure in line with that inside day for a move to the upside after a down move like that. Now, it gets a little bit interesting. So typically what I'll do is I'll mark out with a little rectangle just the range of this inside day, objects, shapes, rectangle. I'll typically mark out the range of this inside day like so. Again, I'm not using trading view, so I apologize. It's a little bit old fashioned. I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to this kind of stuff. So there's the range of my inside day there. I'm looking for a break and retest of the high of that inside day to potentially take it long. Now, when I'm looking at this, there is also the potential through my back testing, through my data gathering, I understand that these inside days can very often fail. Now, a successful inside day would be when price breaks and closes through one of the extremes on the daily chart. So let's say, Monday's candle opens here, we get a close up through the high of the inside day. The inside day's worked, right? It signaled that reversal to the upside. We've seen a follow through. However, above market, I can see a level of structure here on this 60-minute time frame. You can see multiple lows in there, where price could potentially get stuck. If I just grab these little annotations here, there's some lows there, there's some structure here, etc. Right? So I'm aware that the market could potentially get stuck on that. Now, what we kind of add to this, if I take a fib from the high of this daily structure to the low, we can see we have 61.8 fib confluence right in around these lows, right? So we've seen a down move. We're potentially seeing a correction before a further down move. So although we've seen that inside day, what could happen is a lot of pattern or candlestick traders could get long in line with that inside day, looking for that reversal to the upside. And potentially when the market runs into these lows above market, it could potentially get stuck and reverse and, kind of push against them. Now, if we move over onto the market profile here, we have above market point of control. So this is just the point where the market spent the most time trading on Thursday. We can see that comes in at 64 there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 64 in here on my chart, 64. And I'm going to make that the same color as it is on my market profile there. And we can often see quite a good reaction from that point of control. So I have a point of control coming in up there. Now, what we also have on the market profile is this little area here, which is known as single prints, right? You can see we have, 2 prints here, 3 prints here, multiple prints here, okay? Where the market's continually trading over. Here we have what's known as single prints. You see the market only manages to trade one TPO, this is called time price opportunity, in this area. That shows that effectively, the market's opened up here and the sellers have pushed it down. The buyers have not been able to trade in these kind of areas where you see these single prints. The market's not spent a lot of time there. It's just got slammed straight down through there. So that's a bit of an interesting area to me. And I'll typically look at what kind of area this is. if I just make this a little white line here, I'll look at what kind of area this is. So we can see we have these single prints come in 63.58 to 63.34. If I was to put them in on my chart, 63.58 and then 63.34.
Hey guys, quick message from my sponsor Sage Capital. Now they provide education software and tools needed to increase anyone's ability to trade more successfully. Perfect for people who are either still learning, too busy, or just want to use professional grade strategies to build passive income. They've achieved high returns with relatively low risk and are available for auto copying today. Go to sagecapital.co.uk or click the link above and start auto trading today.
Now what we see is a really interesting area above market. We have 61.8 fib confluence in around these lows. We have these single prints from the profile, and we also have that POC, right? That point of control. So we know there's very likely to be a good reaction up there. Now, what we can also see is an orange level in there at 63.06. If we look at this on the daily chart, what is this, this 63.06 level? Well, it was some resistance back there and some support back there, right? So we have a decent daily level with 61.8 fib confluence. We have single prints from our market profile, and we have that untested POC, that point of control coming in. So what this tells me is if the market gets up there, there's actually a very good chance that we could see a reaction. Now, to add into this, we know we have this very basic retail pattern of the inside day. The way people are taught to trade these inside days is a buy stop on the high, a sell stop on the low, to go with the market as it breaks through the extreme. So I'm already thinking, potentially people are going to get triggered long through the high of this inside day up into a daily level of structure with really good confluence to suggest we're going to get a reaction from there. So when I look at that now on the hourly, I have this idea in my head, people are going to be getting long here. People are going to be getting long here. But when the market gets up here, we have an area where it's very, very likely we could reverse. So I'm playing a bit of a contrarian approach here. We have that inside day to suggest the market's going higher, but this whole area in here, we have a lot of confluence to suggest we're going to see a reaction. So coming into next week, I'm going to look to try and sell this kind of level in here, right? I'm going to look to be, I'm going to look to be a seller in here via probably a pending order, maybe stop up through this high here. So stop up beyond this high. And my target will be stops below that inside day low in there, right? So very good risk reward trade there. You can see we're looking at a 140 point stop and a 470 point target there. So that's the kind of trade idea that I'm looking at on oil. If we don't get up there on Monday's candle, I won't be interested in it anymore, right? I'm looking for the failure of this inside day candlestick pattern. So, if we were to, on Monday, open, trade up through the high and close up through the high on the daily, if I'm in that trade, I'm going to be stepping aside on it because I know that the inside day has worked and we have a higher chance of actually making a run higher, potentially on that high. If this inside day does work and we do indeed get a daily close up through the inside day high, I would look for a break and retest of that 63 level there to actually step in long in line with that inside day as a bias, targeting that high up there. So I've got a couple of trade ideas using the market profile, not necessarily to frame the trade idea, but it's supporting the trade idea. The last little detail here, if I've not bored anyone yet, is this up here on the market profile. This is what's known as a bad high or a poor high. Let me just open this up for you. Clear all drawings.
And what's this indicator? Is this available free or is it a paid indicator?
This is a paid indicator. It's a market profile TPO chart. This effectively just shows the market trading at each price, and you can see how long the market traded at each price. If I just zoom in for a sec, basically when we open on A's. You see this O here, that's the open. We open on A's. We trade for 30 minutes and then we change to B's. We trade for 30 minutes, we change to C's. So when you see single letters, what I described as single prints, that just shows the market within 30 minutes is pushing through that level. It never manages to trade back. So you get what's known as an efficient profile. profiles like this, where there's a good distribution of price, this is a very efficient profile. Price just trades along all day like this. This profile in here, however, would be described as an inefficient profile. You get some price distribution here, a big move, price distribution, big move, price distribution. You keep on getting that, right? So it's inefficient. Price will very often look to start filling in this profile when you have an inefficient profile like that. But what I described as bad highs is where you have multiple TPOs left on a high. So this is a good high. This is an all right low there where you've got one, again here, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But what you often find is when you see these bad highs where there isn't, there's multiple TPOs left on a profile like there and like there, it creates a little bit of a liquidity pool, right? And that can often be a very good target for me. I found in my experience is to actually look to target them. So again, this is something I'll mark in. We have 65, 65.30. If I mark that in on this chart, 65.30 comes in right around that high. So if we got a break and retest of 63 in there, we get a break and retest 63, I'd be aiming for those poor highs there on the profile. That would be if we got a daily close up through this inside day. But again, the primary trade I'm looking for into next week, on Monday, is to try and catch a reaction from there for a failure of that inside day.
Cool. Brilliant. Well, look, that's an awesome breakdown and really fascinating stuff for me as well. I don't think I've seen this kind of approach before. And what I'll do is I'll probably just cut now to me having a look at what happened in that oil chart and see if we got any of those trade setups working out for you.
Look, just see how badly it went.
yeah, or if it went terribly wrong. It all makes sense though.
Okay, mate, so I thought I would just quickly check in and give you an update on this trade. Like I said I would. Obviously, I was looking for it to play out on Monday. Now, to kind of shed a little bit more light on the overall idea behind the trade and that inside day candle actually failing, if you look at the way most people are kind of taught to trade these inside days, they trade it with, a buy stop here on the high, and then a stop loss under the low or something very, very similar. So what this really creates is when we break that high, a lot of people get long and their stops are obviously typically waiting below that low, right? So when we look at this on a daily chart of this crude oil here, my kind of trade idea was with this inside day, take it to be a reversal candle as is commonly taught and look to try and get long. However, if we fail as in price pushes up, encounter some structure above and then closes back within, to actually flip and look for shorts, basically targeting those stops below that inside day low. Now, if we look at this on an hourly time frame, you can see the area I was looking to try and get involved in that trade against the inside day was up here, where we had the daily confluence and we had various confluences from the market profile. However, what you'll see is this blue box just marks out that inside day range. What you'll see is price did actually break it to the upside and trigger people long. And once it engages people long, they're obviously long, potentially looking for all-time highs with stops under the low. And you'll see what happens is that failure does play out as I was kind of anticipating. I was obviously anticipating the failure to play out on bearish price action from up here. What happens is it fakes out, gets people long, and then you see that nice run down to take stops. I was actually looking for an entry pretty much all night on this, looking for bearish price action here on this 60-minute time frame to target those stops below. And you can see just in this last hour we've had a really nice probe down there, taking out those stops. We're actually seeing a significant reaction from there. So I thought I would just check in, give you a little update on that market that I was looking at. I am still interested in potentially getting long on this if we can get a nice break and retest of that sort of $63 handle. So thought I would just check in and let you know how it's going. Cheers.
Now, look, do you want to let the guys know how they can get hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on YouTube, Sam KB. I post a lot about like my daily life and setting up this prop firm and stuff like that. I go into a lot of detail there. But you can get me on Instagram, Sam_Kavanagh. On there, I do post a lot of the stuff that I get up to in trading. Also post some highlights from my life. Please, to any of the kind of novices and stuff like that out there, Instagram is highlights of people's lives. You know, I know a lot of people kind of think Instagram is life and all that kind of stuff. You see very, very brief highlights, the sort of best moments of my life, but you also see my day-to-day trading and stuff like that. I talk a lot about it on there. So if you want to reach out to me for a chat, you can reach me on Instagram. That's Sam_Kavanagh.
Cool. Well, look, guys, thank you once again to Sam for sharing that with us today. Look, if you want to see more videos like this, they're coming out pretty regularly. All you need to do is hit subscribe, hit like, and then click the notification bell and click all. You'll get notified when future videos like this come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.